Edward just called Target. Did we record that? Were we recording when Edward
No, we
said that?
didn't. We
Oh,
paused.
okay.
It's in my session, so
So yeah, Edward just said, I hope this one's Polkadot.
As far as our tasking, we asked our intrepid remote viewers to view Polkadot over the next 2 years and record any data and then get, those key performance and market trends that everybody loves so well. And if they can, report on their findings and make us some graphs and charts. All right. Since Edward, is our king of the night here. So why don't we have you get started and kick things off with your session?
okay. So there was polka dot right there. It was weird. I had a hard time trying to wrap my head around it. But how do investors feel about it on winter solstice 2024? There's a positive sentiment here, very uplifting. The end of this year. So I went to summer solstice 2025, and there was a bit of a sideways feel, like the price was flat. It wasn't like, everything was tanked. It was just kind of a sideways market. Summer solstice 2026, go another year, and it was a positive, very green, positive feel. Did my charting. This month feels positive. There was a lot of green here. This was that sideways kind of 2025 summertime. Other than that, it was a very positive.
Nicely done. All right, Naim, why don't we take a look at your data?
Life, entrepreneur, coding, pioneer, free-spirited, knowledgeable, involved for a long time, a tightly knit group. They may have had a fallout before, but they have a strong supporter base. Some facial hair, may wear glasses. This felt like multiple kind of like parallel segments coming off of a central point. The sense here was like replication, duplication, transfers, tokenization. Again, like the ETH, I got the ETH connection there, very ETH-like platform-based project. And I kept getting this sense of something coming back full circle, like cycling back on itself or looping.
Which actually relates, if you think about the Polkadot logo, it's got that series of, circles going around. And I really love that graphic that you did because it's very similar to the one that Edward did, with that sort of main data point and everything kind of coming down to those individual connection points. So I thought that was great.
And the charts felt pretty volatile. I'd say in the 2 year, it felt like the second year has a lower performance than the 1 year. So, ups and downs here and there, but ultimately taking.
How about Sean? Since you're next up on my screen.
Yep. For the energy, I got a really strong visual of this kind of like a spark climbing and arcing up, but I got like a crash kind of sense. So it was kind of a very, I don't know, contradictory. When I see things going up and expanding, normally it's like building or positive, but the crash and the feeling I got was very negative. So I'm not sure if it was like intense energy building up into something destructive. But again, this is kind of a new one to me. I'm not used to doing crypto or kind of these targets where you're kind of looking at something conceptually. So I'm kind of learning some new ways of getting data here. We'll see what happens with Polkadot in the future,
How about Derek up next?
All right. Okay, starting out with my first ideogram, I think that really looks a lot like the Polkadot emblem or logo. It's got the 6 things in the shape, 3. So I'm seeing a lot of technicians, programmers, planners working together in development of something that feels AI or virtual reality based. Lots of nano, cellular, particle size elements involved. Getting a sense this could be AI tech that's implanted in people to facilitate direct access to virtual platform, something I'd expect to see from Neuralink, like a Web 4.0 leap into the mind. Amazing project, impressive. Project feels next gen. If implemented carefully, it will change life for nearly everyone in the developed nations on Earth. Catching impacts to the medical sector, business, finance, maybe on the edge of a Neuralink style interface. And I see the charts here, a lot of ups and downs, but generally ending where it started. I see it moving up over the year.
All right, who's next on my list? Daz!
Okay, here again. Okay, so on this one, my ideograms straight off were not great, actually. It had some fits and starts to it, but everything had a horizontal feel to it, so everything's going straight across, and here on this one as well. So some ups and downs in a saw motion, but generally linear across and horizontal. It had a jumpy feel to it, but yeah, horizontal. Primary, I felt the primary version was a small, short male, wears white shirts a lot, maybe jeans, had a New York kind of feel to him. Worked in a place with a city view, tall building overlooking the modern city. Very financial kind of hedge fund feel to this entire property, with words like SI. I don't know why I got that there, but yeah, very hedge fundy. Felt like he was above a team of something like 6 or 7 people here. Very busy with structures and deals and operations. Felt very male and female in this team, but very professional, kind of business and money orientated people. More money orientated than crypto orientated. So the property has a serious feel to it, and they're not messing around with a professional ambience. But this whole target felt very distant to me, though. It was very hard for me to reach and get data on. My charts on this month, some ups and downs, but generally, well, probably ends up slightly less than it starts. On a year, it might have a peak somewhere in the year, but we're talking, a small peak here, and generally it goes back down again. But the 2-year chart is generally in a down.
Now it is time for Dick to show your work, please.
There you go. Gavin Wood. That's kind of sort of the logo there, I think. Connected spheres, interoperability, cross-chain functions. That's what Polkadot does. An issue is how it runs itself, the energy and environmental cost of maintaining the chain and running the cryptologic algos. They want to switch something to do it with less friction. This pairs with something else to function. It exchanges things. Tabulation at fast speeds, record keeping, how everything is connected to everything else with smart contracts. And for the chart for this month, I see it going up. I see a problem around the 2-year mark. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I described what it does, that it's a connector.